What is good, everybody? If you are as excited about New Comic Book Day as I am, you are in the right place. Welcome to the ComicManAndy Comic Cave and Comic Dojo. It is New Comic Book Day Wednesday. We've got a stack of books to go over this week. I'm excited. This seemed to be a really solid week full of great reads. Nothing too crazy as far as stacks and as far as prices. Like, didn't see many books just kind of blowing up. But before we get into that, let's get into this live chat. Welcome everybody that's hanging out tonight. Fish Tropic in the house saying hi earlier. Tailgating nice and early. Come on, Mama says happy New Comic Book Day. What is up? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Paul Dunn. Hey, yo, brother. What is up? Make taps on the like button. I like it. Tappy tap, 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 taparoo. Taparoo. Big Herm Collectibles. What is up, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for being here, man. Saying hi to everybody. Luke's Comics is in the house. Station Comic Book people. What is up, man? Peter Parker's Pants. Hello. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Happy Wednesday. Mark, what is up, brother? Yes, it is Wednesday. And Wednesday definitely today felt like Monday 2.0. Like Monday all over again. But here we are. Don Davis is in the house. What is up? House of L Comics. Thanks for being here. Zuni with a little fist bump action for the Wednesday New Comic Book Day. What is good as everybody filters in? Josh G. What up, Andy? Good to see you. M3 Lions is still up this late. Whoa. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Monday is definitely the same. Today was definitely feeling like a Monday. We'll see how this goes tonight. We're going to bring some good vibes and get some good energy going here. We're going to talk comic books, right? It has been Peter Parker. What is up, man? Absolutely, Big Herm. It has been another one of those weeks where it's literally rushing to the LCS to pick up books so I can make some time to read a couple. And that's kind of how it went down this week. I think I read 3, maybe 4 books. We'll start off with Marvel once again because I ran through the DC section. There were a couple of mentions from one of the guys at the LCS that I should pick up. And we were looking at some artwork, and I just got to the end of the cases and looking at books and looking what was in my hand. And after the last 3 or 4 weeks of massive New Comic Book Days, I'm like, I'm gonna take a breather here and just get some good reads. We still wound up with a healthy stack of books. Still a healthy stack of books, even for what I'm feeling like is a much more quiet New Comic Book Day. But yeah, just woke up with poorly little. Oh no, man, can't sleep now. That's no fun. Hopefully everybody's feeling well there and can get some sleep later. I'm doing my first Whatnot auction on Friday at 7 p.m. That is awesome, man. I will actually be doing a Whatnot auction at 9 p.m. So right after House of L Comics, we'll be going live on Whatnot to sling some books there at 9 p.m. this Friday. I got to get some of those books loaded up tonight and do a promo. I've been meaning to do that all week, and it's just been one of those weeks. It's just been busy, sun up to sundown. Daywalker, what's happening, brother? Hey, comic fam, good to see you, man. Said we're dipping right into Marvel right away. No DC books this week. I want to find balance in the force, so to speak, and trim back some of the variant purchases that I'm doing so I can grab some more DC books, get back into some DC books for reads, because tonight's going to be the night that before I load any Whatnot books, I'm going to sit down at the email, going to shoot my LCS an email to cut back on some stuff. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Comic Book Therapy, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Joey Bag of Sevens, what's up, man? Happy Hump Day. It felt like today wait. Ooh, wow, yeah, I definitely felt like I got railed. Yes, CBT, what is up? I read the Me Love the Dark 5 18 hours ago. That's right. You get access to your books almost half a day earlier than everybody else, right? DC Nightwing, yes, Peter Parker's Pants. That's what Big Herm or House of L Comics. A couple other people said DC Nightwing. I got to get in there and read that. I'm sad that I missed out on Wonder Woman Black and Gold and Black and Gold. Once I saw that cover of number 5, that Frizzen, I realized, oh man, where was I for the first few issues? And I was like, I want to get some of these covers. But then I realized I had no business buying a bunch of covers of number 4, number 5 if I didn't even bother to read the first chunk. So it's like I'm missing out on some really sweet Wonder Woman action going on, and that kind of made me sad. But so we're going right into Marvel. Daredevil 36 is out this week. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody in the chat, but is this not the last Chip Zdarsky? Chip Zdarsky's taking a break from Daredevil, right? And it's moving on to somebody else, if I remember correctly. So this kind of felt like the closing of Daredevil for me, with Chip Zdarsky possibly ending his run on this. I don't know who's going on it next. I need to look this up. This last this last story arc feels a lot like something I've read in the 80s. You know, the prison, the riots, the drugs, and affecting all the prisoners, and then affecting Daredevil and Bullseye. And this felt really, 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 really familiar, and almost kind of felt like, hey, we got to get something down and close out this story arc. Here you go. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Peter Parker's pants says, yep, that's it for Daredevil Zdarsky. I don't know if I'm going to continue then. I don't know if I'm going to continue. This has been, what, 2 years? Well, 36 issues, right? 12 a year. This is 3 years. Yeah, math. Oh, God, it's such a Wednesday. Math. 3 years, right? 3 years of Daredevil. I'm feeling like I could probably use a break from Daredevil. Good read. Good, solid read, but this story arc felt all too familiar out of something from the 80s or the 90s with, like I said, the prison riot, then the corporation creating the drugs, and not gonna spoiler free, working on spoiler free. Chang McBurger, burgers do sound good. Chang, thanks for being here. Love you to death. Good to see you, man. Marshall walks in. What is up? Devil's Reign is coming next, Luke's comic said. So, Luke, do you guys know who is going to be writing Devil's Reign? That'd be interesting. If you told me one of my big top 3 favorite writers was going to be on it, then I'm probably going to be still reading it. Peter says he's taking a break from Hulk, so all is good. Yeah, I think I might need a break from Daredevil depending on who's going to be writing that. And it might move into, if I have to read it, it might be a trade format later on. Either way, single issue to issue Daredevil pickups have been fun until this last story arc kind of felt, like I'm saying, like kind of not repurposed, but I feel like I've read an arc just like that many years ago. Then sticking with Marvel, moving right along, Venom number 2. Okay, so we talked about last month when Venom 1 came out and I just couldn't get into it. I gave it another shot. I picked up issue 2. I was just like, I don't know, man. I just had a hard time getting in issue 1. I sat down and I actually read issue 1 digitally. And somehow I got into it easier reading it digitally than I did in the actual floppy issue format. You talk about kind of blowing my mind there. So actually, Chip is going to be, wait, what? Zdarsky is writing Devil's Reign? Well, I thought issue 36 of Daredevil was Chip Zdarsky's last run, or last issue with Daredevil. Is Devil's Reign going to be a one shot or a mini series? I got to look into this. But let me know in the chat, because for some reason I'm missing a lot of the opportunities to figure some of this stuff out. So Venom issue 1, I ended up reading digitally earlier today, and I was actually kind of getting into it. I'm picking it up to the point where I got 5 or 6 pages into issue 2 here, and I'm like, okay, the only reason why I didn't finish reading issue 2 is because I wanted to go live. I wanted to stay on time, and I wanted to be done before 9 p.m. so I could still hang out with everyone. We still talk comic books. Devil's Reign is a mini series. Okay, well, if Zdarsky's on the mini series, then I kind of have to check out the mini series. Oh, digital is how I read and save my comics untouched. So for me, I prefer to read in the floppy issues, the single issues. But something like Venom, maybe it's the way the art is created that digitally it was easier for me to digest in the art. Like for some, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. There's that whole nother topic for a whole nother show there. What's good, Daywalker? Come on, Mama says. Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto's Devil's Reign mini. Okay, so yeah, I kind of have to pick that up. November is over. You can have carbs again. What are we eating? Oh, burgers. Chang McBurger. We're talking burgers. Oh boy. Oh boy, don't get me in on that one. No, keto is not over. Keto will be going on again. We can save that till after we get after the books. But sticking with Marvel, Darth Vader issue 13. This pack 18. I looked at that and I don't know why I said it. 13. Darth Vader 18 is out. This pack run has been fantastic. I didn't get a chance to read this issue. This is going to be one of the ones that I read tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Star Wars because there's a lot there's a few more issues out. This is not leaving my pull list. The cover A of Darth Vader of this run is definitely staying on the pull list. I've enjoyed that quite a bit, but there's going to be some changes to the pull list Star Wars related. I gotta stop buying all of the variant covers. Bounty Hunters 18 also hits. I've not read this one. I was originally picking up the Bounty Hunters run for the wife. She was reading Bounty Hunters, and then I got pulled and sucked into the War of the Bounty Hunters crossover event and started reading all those books. And I came to realize that she was only picking up cover A on my pull list. And I've apparently somehow now started picking up all the variant issues for this when originally I didn't plan on doing that, but I was doing the War of the Bounty Hunters, all copies, all printings, all of those ones. So I want to check that out. And I kind of feel a little cheated from that crossover event. You know what I mean? I want to know how many of you guys out here were reading War of the Bounty Hunters and did it live up to your expectations now that that's ended and over? So Bounty Hunters issue 18 hits the reading pile for the wife. That's going to hit her short box up in her craft room. Andy made it through another year of no shave November success. Yeah, you darn tootin', buddy. Wait a minute. You didn't, though. Didn't you shave it off? Just recently on Instagram, you shared a post of some alien-looking life form next to you in your beautiful bearded self. So check that out. That was really weird. Solo Wookiee beardless. I know, right? Holy moly. Wednesday has been a Wednesday for sure. Yes. We're going to soak it in. We're going to enjoy it, and we're going to hang out. And like I said, the variant covers for Bounty Hunters. This one is actually pretty nice looking, but I don't need every single variant copy of Star Wars. I don't. I was doing it for War of the Bounty Hunters, the crossover event. But now, now I need to send an email to my LCS and just get me down to the cover A's of Star Wars. We're going to open up some spots for books from DC. And there's been some indie stuff that I've left sitting on the shelf that I wanted to read recently in the last few months, but I didn't pick it up because of how many other books I was getting. Andy in chat, what do you call a snowman with a six-pack? And a abdominal snowman. That one's cold. Oh, boy. That one's cold. Almost as cold as the morning was this morning as I left the house to go to work. I really wanted to do something nice for somebody. And it was really cold out, and I saw a hitchhiker. Like, man, that's terrible. Let me pull over and help this person out, maybe make their day a little bit brighter. So I pulled over and said, hey, come on, get in. Go for a ride. Where are you going? Dude opens the door and is like, how do you know I'm not a serial killer? What are the chances there's going to be two serial killers in the same car at the same time? Moving right along, the Lucas 50th anniversary variant. I actually am digging this Rogue One. I'm digging this Rogue One, but I feel like this would have been one of the books that had I had to make a choice, it would have been left behind. I think this one the wife is actually really going to like. So maybe she's the one that added all the variants to my pull list and I forgot about it like most husbands do. Either way. So that's actually it for Star Wars. No, it's not it for Star Wars books. That's it for Marvel Star Wars books this week. We have to make time and location. We are meeting up C2E2. I'm assuming I'm hoping they have the yard. So Emerald City Comic Con is this weekend. When that is done and some people are recouping, there's going to be some more planning and discussion going on for C2E2. In the meantime, what we can do on social media is we can create some group chats of everybody that's going there. So I'm thinking I should probably do a post tonight or tomorrow of not a mail call, but a roll call of who's all going so that we can create a group chat. And I think you can get up to 20 people in a group chat. You can set it up for C2E2. I know it's going to be one of those situations where we're going early on a Thursday to enjoy some of Chicago's areas and check things out. We've got our passes. We've got them activated. We're half packed already. We cannot wait. And there's going to be a lot of prepping and a lot of other stuff going on. So this group chat will be helpful. Hopefully the reception isn't terrible. Andy said karaoke. I don't think. Did I really? Oh, I'm in trouble now. Photographing Bigfoot is no small. Oh, God. This is true. That would be awesome. We will be there Saturday afternoon and night. I know Thursday night is... There's a lot of people talking about... I think Thursday night is going to be a Heroes Initiative get together slash auction of some sort. I think there's rumblings that that might be happening. Friday night, Saturday night, there's going to be dinners and hangouts and parties pretty much every night of the week, or every night of the week, every night of the convention. So there's going to be a lot going on. I know we're not going to get a chance to spend an entire days with a lot of people. We're going to see some people in passing or fleeting moments, but we definitely want to make time to get pictures with everybody and hang out for the memories, right? Because it's been a while since we've been at C2E2. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. I digress. We'll get into the books and then we'll talk more about C2E2 in a little bit. Thanks for trying to even it out for the rest of us. You also said you... What? Paul, where were we? Was I... How much did I have to... Oh, no, I don't know. No, I did not. You're just... Oh, here we go. Mom, once again, don't forget, you can come down and visit as well during those days. Why did the Grinch go to the liquor store? He was looking for some holiday HK Wifey 420, what is up? Thanks for being here. Good to see you as well. Is that an angel? A cat in pain? Oh no. Zadarsky says he will continue writing Daredevil. Oh, he will. I'm sure Marvel's looking for another #1 Daredevil, so its number will... Oh, okay. Interesting. Mojo Quid, what is up? Thanks for being here. So we're halfway through the books. We'll do a couple announcements, and then we'll do a recap of the books. Thank you all 28 people for watching right now. It is great energy. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Hopefully, you guys are getting some energy from this, too, and taking something from this to carry on throughout the week. And, yes. So next up, we have moved on from Marvel. We're on to Image Books. The Me You Love in the Dark, last issue of this series. This gets dark. It gets crazy. I love the cover. I love the use of colors in the artwork in this issue. Things get... if you're reading this series and you haven't read this yet, you're not gonna want to miss this. It's good. It's a good ending. It's just a good decent read. It wasn't mind blowing, but it ended better than I thought it was gonna, because originally when this came out, I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be another like ghost, like Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore kind of ghost situation, and it wasn't. Not quite. A little more quirky. I like the art, and I love the use of colors in this. I really do. This looked really good, and I enjoyed it. I'm glad it's done. It's another book that's gonna not be on the pull list that I'm not gonna be buying. Happy for the experience, but I'm probably gonna pass that experience on to somebody else here soon, so they can get a chance to read that. Next up from Image is gonna be one of those many books that is just layered and layered and layered to the point where I haven't even tried reading this book on Wednesdays anymore. It sits in a pile with other books until I can sit down and read 3 or 4 or 5 in a shot, and then I can reread it again. I don't know what it is. I don't know what, because Tinian's writing I like, and I don't have a hard time absorbing it or taking that writing in, so to speak, or that story. I like the way this just has so much going on in it and so many layers that I have to take time and absorb it. So to try to give this book 15, 20 minutes to sit down and read and then talk about, yeah, I'm just not going to do very well at it. So it's hitting the rating pile. I'm going to continue buying issue to issue because I love Tinian's writing. And so far, the artwork in this, you want to talk artwork in this book, then check out Comic Corps' Modern Men, where we read the first 6 issues of this, and everybody had some pretty interesting stuff to say about the artwork. I'm going to keep buying issue to issue, but I'm definitely going to be reading this more in like a trade format. I'll put the issues together, or I'll buy the trade, or I'll read it digitally. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this story continues to progress in time here. And then we are moving on to IDW. Why didn't Rudolph go to school? He was... wait. Oh, no. He was elf-taught. Interesting. Yes, agreed. It's a good ending. Lovely short story. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It wasn't something that like really like knocked my socks off, but like it wasn't like groundbreaking for me. But it was a good solid read. I enjoyed it. Lovely short story. That's actually a good way of saying it. All of those reasons are exactly why I love Department of Truth. I've got to get my head right. But yeah, I'm with Mojo Quit on this. I really got to get my head right and sit down and read that. And like the phone comes out, do not disturb gets turned on, the doors get closed, everybody's in bed. I'm sitting down and I'm reading this. that's kind of where I'm at with this book. Oh boy. Oh boy. How do you attract a squirrel? You act nuts. That's me. I'm nothing but nuts. Yes, absolutely. So IDW Turtles continues. I will buy cover A of this book every time it comes out and pack stack this up on the reading pile, hoping for the day to come around where C Woodard and I can get back together and we can continue that deep dive into the whole Turtles IDW run. I'm pretty excited for when we can make that happen back on Turtle Tuesdays again. So we'll see what happens. Maybe something's going to change for 2022. We'll make that work. But work schedules right now quite aren't lining up. But in the meantime, all of the issues will be there and be ready. Why can't penguins fly? They're not tall enough to... Don't tell them that, though. Don't want to make them sad. I come for comics. I stay for righteous jokes. God. I don't know about righteous, man. I don't know about righteous, but Star Wars, IDW, Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures number 11. Hit it in the reading pile. I feel like this is going to be a great series to give to my son in time when they start reading, when kids start reading. I don't know. We've got him reading books. He's just kind of copying and mimicking what we're doing, so he's not reading on his own yet. How much can you expect of a 5-year-old, right? But still, he's interested. He's looking through comic books and checking them out. So we're setting some stuff aside for him. The LOO variant, the 1 in 10, that was definitely there and available. So pick that up. Down to the last couple of books. So we move from IDW on to Boom Studios. Now, this is interesting. When I got my email from my LCS, there was a book missing. So either they didn't get the books in or they all got damaged. But cover A is missing, but thankfully cover B is the sketch variant for Once and Future 22. And I'm kind of sad that we don't get to look at the cover of cover A because the colors were fantastic. I'm like, Dustin of Two Brothers is going to be all over this and going to be hamming all over grandma on a Harley. Is it a Harley? Either way, debatable later. But another book that is kind of overlooked right now, and I don't know if it's because of the way the story's progressed, or a lot of people have just fallen off. Now we're issue 22, or 2 years of almost 2 years of Once and Future, and it hasn't had it's kind of hasn't really been in the spotlight much at all. And you know what that means? Print runs are going to be lower. So take a look and try finding the 1 in 25 variant online. I think I saw 2 on eBay, and they're getting bid up over $40 now. And this is a pretty good looking cover. I'm digging this. Digging the use of colors on this. And I really want to get into this and read this and see how this cover might relate to the story in the issue. If any of you guys have read Once and Future this week or today, let me know if you enjoyed it. Where is it at for you? I know a lot of people in the chat every week or every month when we talk about Once and Future, people are like, they've moved on. They've dropped it. They haven't stuck with it. I know Dustin from Two Brothers and I were talking about Once and Future last year, 12 months ago, quite a bit. And he's like, it's just time for him to move on. And I think I remember him saying that there were a few covers that came out that he's like, man, I wish I wouldn't have moved on. And I don't know. This one might be pretty tough to find. This was actually Andy T's pick last night on Comic News Weekly for his issue for New Comic Book Day, because Andy was talking about that. He did an article on CBSI's website, the Indie Spotlight. This was in his article, and he talked about the print runs getting lower and lower and lower as the series continues to go, and these ratio variants getting to the point where they can be pretty tough to find. And I know I've run into some of the ratio variants, seeing them be damaged. So finding high grade copies might be a bit of a challenge. I might seriously consider starting to send my ratio variants for Once in the Future and the extra printings off to get graded for CGC. Like the 8th print of number 1 is actually a pretty expensive book in 9.8. PPP, yes, M3 Line says, we'll get into the chat here in just a second really quick. One last book up, and this is a guilty pleasure book. Nobody's talking about it. It's not on anybody's radar. It's not a spec book. It's not it's not a spotlight book. It's just Redshift issue 4 from Scout Comics. This story continues to kind of tickle my sci-fi space adventure funny bone, so to speak. And this has actually just been a fun read. This is still open because this is going to be the next book that I read. This Redshift, I without going too much into detail, humanity is living off of Mars, and they've been putting together the last of their resources to send out scout rocket ships with elected individuals, if you will, so to speak, out into the cosmos to look for the next habitable location for humanity. And it's been interesting. It's been kind of fun. It's one of those things where it's like sometimes you just get on the sci-fi channel and find something spacey and you turn it on, and it doesn't have to be perfect or mind-blowing or amazing to enjoy it. You just have to sit there and they're like, all right, this is kind of my jam. That's where this book is for me. This is kind of my jam. So I'm going to continue keeping this on the pull list and seeing where this goes. Hopefully, hopefully I continue to enjoy it all the way till the end. And then it's, maybe it's going to be a mini series. I don't know. Is there only going to be 2 issues left? I haven't looked that deep into this situation. That's the last book for New Comic Book Day. We're going to get into this chat here for a minute. There are lots of people showing up, lots of people hanging out tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Before we get into announcements, like I said, we're going to get into this chat, and then we will do a recap of the books. Your shop isn't even ordering the 1 in 25s. It's joking you or it's killing you? The killing joke? Yeah. My shop is still ordering enough copies to get the 1 in 25s because they know I'm going to be the one to pick it up every time. I don't even think there are so few copies on the shelf every month when that comes out. I think I'm the only one getting the ratio variants for my LCS and nobody else is, because when I show up, there's maybe 10, 11, 12 copies left. There's not many. So I think they probably have, if they're ordering 25 copies, half or maybe just over half of them are going to pull lists or pull boxes, and the other half are hitting the shelf. The funny thing is, though, when I go back to my LCS, I never see Once and Future books just laying around from last month or the month before. If I do, there's only 1 or 2. People are still reading the series. I think everybody's pretty comfortable on the fact, though, that there's not a big spotlight of attention on there, so that if they're getting comfortable with the LCS ordering X number of copies every month so that they don't feel pressure to go in and get it on Wednesday morning or keep it in their pull list. They can drop it from the pull list and then pick it up off the shelf because they'd realize there's going to be an extra 5-10 copies there left available. I think that's kind of where everybody's at. Everybody's getting complacent with it, which is good, right? For a lot of people, casual readers, because if it gets into the spotlight again, and next thing you know, things are going to be really hard to find and print runs. I don't know. Matches Malone. I turned on the Sci-Fi Channel and found something awesome and spacey once. It was Night Flyers. Ooh, I loved it until I found out that George R. R. Martin rushed the end of Game of Thrones to... Son of a... I did not know that. I'm going to check it out, but I'm going to be angry about it. Matches Malone. Wow, I didn't know that. He rushed the end of Game of Thrones to do Night Flyers? Ooh, and Sci-Fi canceled it after 1 season? I'm about to get spicy down here in the dojo. I'm going to have to check that out. So, yes, we're in the chat here just for a little bit. You chat jumped my other joke. Oh, did I really? Oh, no, my bad, man. Sometimes that happens. What do you call a Bigfoot when he has an attitude? Christ, Sasquatch. That's a good one. I like that one. Why are Christmas trees so bad at sewing? They always drop. I got to use that one. That one's actually pretty good. That one's actually pretty good. Hey, Mama. Absolutely. Hey, M3 Lines. Yes. When Sasquatch gets that way, do you put the foot down? Oh, no. It's a good ending. Lovely short story. Yes. Talking about the me you love in the dark. Why didn't Rudolph go to school? He was elf taught. Oh, man. Of all these reasons, exactly why I love Department of Truth. I have to get my head right before I sit down and read it. I'm with Mojo Quit on that, getting my head right and sit down. Like anytime, like if my phone's going to go off, then it pulls me right out of that read. And I have to kind of like refocus to get back into it. And it's not a bad thing. Challenging yourself when you're reading situations like that is definitely not a bad thing, but sometimes you have to make the environment right. You have to make it conducive to absorbing some of these stories. How do you attract a squirrel? You act nuts. Absolutely. I need quiet when I read my books as well. See, now there's a lot of books where I get so drawn in that I can drown out the world around me. And then there's some other ones that really take a lot of focus. So I guess it depends entirely on the story and what's happening. But I do agree with you. There are some books that I definitely need. Saga. I don't need it to be deathly still and quiet. I want it to be. I want that story. That's like everything's gone. It's like I want to sit in an empty movie theater and experience the whole thing by myself. That's kind of where I'm at with that. Saving my new books for tomorrow. Looking forward to reading King of Spies 1. Ooh, that did sound good. I didn't pick it up though. Number 5, The Last Ronin. So number 5 is delayed to February now. That's getting frustrating. That's just completely taking the win out of the sales for Last Ronin. I hope it's a good read. Your shop isn't ordering the 1 in 25. Yep. Did somebody say Harley? Harley Dave, what is up? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. You still enjoy it, though. What did Beaver say to the Christmas tree? Nice 9. Oh, no, that one. The Last Ronin lost all momentum. Sad because it's a great story. They shot themselves in the foot. I'm with Peter Parker's pants on this. This has just been one of those, the timing is everything. And I feel like they had this planned. So all they had to do was put all the bricks in place and build that foundation and then roll everything out. And instead, I feel like they had a plan, but didn't create the foundation they need to release it and release it successfully. Instead, it's just, didn't they have to redo like the entire first issue, all of the art at one point? And that really just killed it from there. Oh man. Yeah, Ronin's still better than most stuff out now, in my opinion, but I kind of agree it dropped off. I'd agree with that. How does a sheep say Merry Christmas? Feliz Navidad. I just, I'm with Matches Malone still on the whole Sci-Fi Channel thing. I do want to check that out. Stillwater is another title that no one talks about. I agree. There are some not exclusives. Yeah, there's a couple of exclusives, and there's some low print ratios out there for Stillwater #1 that you can still find pretty cheaply. And Stillwater, I feel like, could translate very well to a show on Netflix or Hulu or something like that. I feel like that could translate pretty well and still be a decent show. Yep, prepare yourself to be angry about it. Oh man, dang it. Absolutely tragic. Okay, I'm going to probably dive into this weekend. I really should. Those are the reactions to my jokes. I'm looking. Dang it. Stillwater is a fantastic story. Yeah, it's spicy. It's kind of spicy and crazy. Yeah, I need to be quiet when I read too. Yeah, agreed. DOT is one of those that demands quiet to read. Even the slightest interruption means the whole, yeah, it does kind of just, it pulls you out and you have to work to get into those layers of that story. You really do. One Shot Comics is in the house. What is up, man? Thanks for being here. We are about halfway through the show. We've gone through the first round of books, the books for the first round. We're hitting up the chat. We're gonna do a couple of quick announcements, and then we'll go back through the books really quick again. How does a snowman lose weight? That's cheating. How does a snowman lose weight? He waits for the weather to get warmer. That's cheating, though. That's cheating. Let's be honest. I don't mind The Last Ronin delays. A good series and definitely worth the wait. Delays just mean the books will be more valued. People that dropped it will have to pay hefty to get it late. I agree and disagree at the same time. I feel like the print numbers are so high that the books are just laying around. I feel like copies of Last Ronin are still sitting in boxes in the back of my LCS waiting to hit shelves or waiting for people to buy them or ask for them. Because every time they release a book, there's a director's issue or director's cut that comes out. There was one just last week that was a director's cut of art of something like that. And I'm like, I only asked for the cover A's, I think. I asked for all covers, all printings, all copies at first. And then when the delay started hitting, I chopped that down to just the cover A's. I just want to read the story and move on. Robert Butterfield, what is up, brother? Thanks for being here, man. Yes, it is New Comic Book Day Wednesday. Thanks for stopping in and hitting one of those reaction buttons and leave some comments and some feedback. We're halfway through the show on Wednesday night. We went through the round of books at the beginning. We're hitting up this chat, and we're going to do a couple announcements. Then we're going to go back through the recap or back to the books and recap, because today is definitely feeling like a Monday. So we're going to hit all of the notes as best as we can. I like your positive attitude matches. I agree and disagree with matches. I feel like the print run on The Last Ronin is so massively high that is #1 even still holding the value that it was beforehand? Either way, great shirt. We appreciate your support. I feel like at some point I can't trim the beard, but maybe I need to Maybe I need to braid it or something like that. Do not give in to the war within, end veteran suicide. There's going to be a special episode coming up here on the channel. The care package from the Till Valhalla Project was sent. We want to unbox that. We want to highlight the Till Valhalla Project. There should be a link down and below. If it isn't there, I'm going to be adding it soon. But we want to highlight the Till Valhalla Project for the holiday season. And we have in the past talked about the monetization of this channel will be donated to the Till Valhalla Project when we get to that level where we can make a withdrawal. In fact, I'll go ahead and start with announcement number one. I'm going to say all of the monetization for 2022 of the channel will get donated till the Till Valhalla Project. It's just a matter of getting that stuff to line up. So that was going to be one of the announcements for that unboxing when we get a chance to do that show, probably sometime after C2E2. But why did leprechauns laugh when they... That is a solid classic right out of the 90s. Yes. There's so many more running through my head now. I was on the Today Show. That video got over 3. What? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got a little kiss on the forehead while you're getting your haircut, didn't you, man? Hulk, smash that like button, everybody. How did the ornament get addicted to Christmas? He got hooked on... Oh, no. Can't wait. Please let me know when you air it. I'll show it on our show it to our TVP founder. It's something that I want to make sure that I'm not going to do it live. I prefer to do live shows with people and hang out. But what I want to do is I want to be able to record that in 4K, 60 frames per second, and edit it as little as possible. So it is genuine, off the cuff, real content. But I want to deliver an audio and a video quality that is on par with the top quality that hits YouTube nowadays. So I know the audio quality sounds good here on the channel regularly. Video quality still isn't quite there. We do have to do some PC upgrades before we can get to that next level for live streaming, where we're live streaming 4K through OBS. That's something I'm working on training and educating myself on. So I digress. That show is probably going to be after C2E2 or maybe recorded sometime during C2E2. And it's going to get lightly edited. But that upload process is fantastic with Apple products because you can airdrop from your iPhone to an iPad or to a MacBook in 4K 60 frames and do the light editing there and get that ready. So I'm going down a whole nother rabbit hole in my thought process and how I'm working on that, but that is coming up soon. The box has not been open. It's still sealed. It's quite a heavy little box. So it'll be interesting to see what's in there. Last Ronin 1 is still selling well above cover. There's a lot of awesome exclusives out there. You're not kidding. There's over 70 exclusives for Last Ronin number 1. It's approaching. It was approaching the number of exclusives that were for the Walking Dead number 1, and the Walking Dead number 1 still holds that number 1 title for the most exclusives for that number 1 issue. But why was the snowman looking through the carrots? He was picking his nose. That's a good one. I don't do very well at PG rated jokes. Yeah. They're all good. But the announcements. We're on announcements, actually. So C2E2 is next week. You will find me wearing this, not this exact shirt. I've got 5 or 6 or 7. I've got 5 or 6. I've got multiples of this shirt. I also have picked up a brand new hoodie for C2E2 of this exact print. The original that I have is kind of that comfy lounge round at home now, and it's pretty kind of worn out and getting ripped. So we got a new one for C2E2. You'll find me wearing this exact same hat there. I cannot wait. We're going to be in the Chicago area on Thursday, then the convention's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a blast. Whatnot will be there. We will be doing a Whatnot auction Saturday evening near the end of the convention, and I believe Skeff is shooting for that 3 to 5 slot, and I'm working for that 5 to 7 slot. Hopefully everything works out. That's currently what the working theory is. That's going to be a blast. That is going to be a blast. Paul Dunn is going to be at C2E2. Skeff is going to be at C2E2. I'm going to be at C2E2. And so many more people we're going to have to hang out. That's big announcement number 1. Big announcement number 2 is there is a Whatnot live auction this Friday night at 9 p.m. You saw the House of L Comics, Don Davis, saying he's going at 7 p.m. in the Whatnot app. So I'm going to be going and following him up at 9 p.m. We've got a lot of great books. It is going to be a fire sale. Everything's going to start for $1. Everything's going to start for $1. I mean, I've been posting books at like low prices and then dropping those prices for auctions. No. This Friday is going to be a fire sale. Everything is starting for $1. I'm going to find the best books that I can. You guys got to see this mess right now. I've got all the short boxes pulled out on the ground to dig through to look for keys, minor keys, big keys, anything that I can start for $1 to bring value to that auction on Whatnot this Friday at 9 p.m. So we're going to move books. We're going to move books. It's going to be a really good time. Hopefully the bugs that we kind of ran into a couple of weeks ago have worked out. There's been a couple of updates. So we're looking forward to that. And a lot of the other people, like you guys check out Comic Tom and the Wednesday crew over there on Whatnot right now. And they're running strong. And Gary's been running strong on those auctions. And a lot of people have been showing up. And they don't there doesn't seem to be the same challenges, so the bugs probably got worked out. My schedule's going to line up. I booked this Friday a month and a half ago to make time for this, so I'm really looking forward to unwinding, letting the old hair down, and making sure that we're going to have a good time here down in the comic dojo. That's announcement number 2. Announcement number 3 is, you've noticed that we have finally made that segue into the flip-flop on the Monday live stream, right? We're doing Monday mail call every other Monday. Now we're doing Modern Comic Mondays every other Monday, opposite of that. This past Modern Comic Monday was a ton of fun exploring the topic on how to start collecting comic books from a beginner's perspective. We asked 5 questions. We post 5 topics or 5 viewpoints and thoughts. A couple of those were questions. And I want you to take a moment, check that out, and leave me some honest feedback. The buying or starting a comic book collecting is really in the first 18 to 20 minutes. Everything beyond that is doing a deep dive further for the people that stayed and hung out in the live stream. So that content is actually going to be chopped down into the smaller form and going to be re-released for other people that want to just watch that portion. But literally, like, I've got the notes still sitting here in front of me, and I'm reminded about how much fun that was. So I implore you guys to check out that content, leave some real feedback down there. It's a topic that's talked about, but it's a topic I feel like everybody could talk about every week, because there's so many people coming into comic book collecting and are always looking for that information. And when you go on YouTube and you search for that information, you find a handful of videos. But it seemed like a lot of those videos were a year and a half, 2 years old, 3, sometimes 4 years old. And I'm like, there's things that are always kind of changing. Industry's kind of changing. Viewpoints, thoughts, and opinions are always kind of different. So that's the greatest thing ever, right? Variety is the spice of life. Everybody is just different enough that if we share our thoughts and opinions, then we can help build better, smarter collectors coming into comic book collecting that don't get burnt out, that don't fall for FOMO, that don't go massively into debt to start their collection. You know, we want to help foster a very healthy collecting experience and collecting environment for new people coming in. The best way to do that is start to create a foundation that they can propel themselves off of from that point going forward. So I feel like the 5 topics or the 5 viewpoints that I touched bases on were what I considered important getting into comic book collecting as a new person, that I wish I would have had somebody helping or coaching me on from that factor or that thought process. You know, if I many years ago had this information in front of me, I feel like I would probably have a lot more money saved up, and I would be buying a lot more of the big keys that I want, because probably half or more of my current collection are books that are shiny, pretty things that I just kind of, they came and went in my head. What did I just say? Phrasing, strike, reverse, pull that back. Either way. So please check out that content. Please leave some honest feedback. I love hearing what you guys have to say, good and bad. You know, I can't, without feedback, I can never really make changes or improve on myself. So feedback and conversations are really important. So please do that. Peter Parker says, I hear Andy bust out a mean. Oh no, we're not. This karaoke in Chicago thing is just a myth. You guys are just oh no, just saying, it happens when he lets his hair down. Oh boy. Andy has Grammy Awards behind each of those sides. No, no, there are no Grammy Awards. All right. So let's see. Andy said we were gonna, yes. I don't know about the singing karaoke side of thing, but Paul, I think me, you, and Skeff should actually get together and do some live streaming from C2E2. We could do a show from each of our own hotel rooms together on StreamYard and figure that out. Or we could just go live at a bar and just bring a mini tripod and somebody's phone, and maybe we can figure out the aspects of connection and getting and doing that, or whose channel we're doing it on. Either way, we're going to be hanging out somewhere at some point. We might as well go live and hang out with the rest of the comic book community that wasn't able to make it to C2E2 Comic karaoke when? Oh, now it's getting themed too. Oh boy. Sounds like a great time. Yeah, we have to. There's going to be 3.5 solid days. I feel like by Sunday afternoon, everybody's going to be pretty much ready to go for the people that are still there. But are you guys ready to recap the books one more time? Do we have more people showing up that haven't seen the books? M3 Lions, yes, have a great night, man. Watch the rest later. Almost 2 a.m. I want to thank you for staying up that late over in the UK to watch and hang out with us tonight. Paul Dunn, sounds like a great time. Oh boy, you guys are, oh, this is going to be trouble. This is going to be trouble. So to quickly recap the books, then we can recap announcements really quick. We're 45 minutes in somehow already. That's how much fun this is. I hope you guys are having the same amount of fun that I am and pulling some great energy from this, because I got to be honest with you guys. I looked up, it was like 15 minutes in when we were going through some of the books, and now we are half an hour later already, and it's 45 minutes in. By golly. All right, recapping the books really quick. Scout Comics Redshift #4 is out. Like I said, this is my nice little guilty pleasure that I kind of enjoy. Space fantasy, space opera, sci-fi, tickles that funny bone, so to speak, if you will. It's not going to knock anybody's socks off. I think it's just a very fun read. And this is going to continue to hit my pull list. Stop with the Adele. You guys, Adele. I would have guessed Rick S. Oh, no. We want to get Rick rolled? Oh, golly. Here we go. Oh, no. All right. Then Boom Studios, Once and Future 22 is out. The 1 in 25. I'm going to be paying close attention to what this does in the secondary market, because I don't feel like there are a lot of copies. I don't feel like this is the best 1 in 25 cover out there, but it's definitely in like the top 5 or top 6. I think this is a really solid looking cover. It's good looking. I want to see what this, if this has anything to do. This is a bit of a portrayal of the story in there. I haven't gotten in there to read that yet, but it's going to be one of those that's on the reading pile. And like I said, cover A somehow didn't show up in my LCS, so I got to find out what's going on there. Maybe I'll just read it digitally. Maybe I'll just pick it up on Comixology and read it digitally. I wouldn't be picking it up, but purchasing it, if you will. So we did get the cover B, the black and white variant, and I figure like Dustin from Two Brothers Comics would go all ham over Granny on the Harley. That's really cool. She's been on a Harley, I think, one other time or maybe 2 other times on covers, and that's, you guys don't care about the comics. I'm picturing Andy rocking some Hank Williams Jr. Oh man, how does Santa remember all the fireplaces he visit? He keeps a logger, right? New Andy Rumor Wednesdays. What's going on? What did I miss? New Andy Rumor Wednesdays. Perry Como, I think SantaCon is going on that weekend. What? Oh God. All right, continuing right along. IDW's High Republic Adventures, the 1 in 10, the Lou, LOO variant. Still picking these up, keeping this on the pull list, and setting these Disney branded Star Wars High Republic reads from IDW, kind of setting those aside for the little man to read when he gets to that point. Can't be much longer. I mean, he's 5 and already trying to read, so there's got to be at some point coming up here soon. When do kids actually start to read? I don't know. I miss those days of those reading clubs and those pizza parties and all that other stuff. But that means cover A is also on the pull list and getting picked up and added to that short box as well. I'm going to eventually just sit down and binge that whole run on my own. Seriously. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 123. Like I said, this will forever continue to hit the pull list until they end this series and restart it and camera focus, because I'm really looking forward to that day when Seawater 19 and I can get back to doing Turtle Tuesdays and reviewing this whole run. Like, I think we were almost halfway through the run before our work schedules kind of got to clashing a little bit. So I'm excited to get back into this at some point, which means every floppy issue is going to be picked up still. So I noticed that it was kind of hard to find some of the trades back when we were doing the show. Like, Comixology didn't have everything, and then Hoopla didn't have everything. It was like crisscross going back and forth to different things. Eventually, I think Comixology got everything. They put it all on sale, which was awesome. But we are now on Department of Truth issue. God, I didn't even know what issue this is. 14. We're in the teens on a lot of really good reads right now. You think Once and Future is just into the 20s. Department of Truth issue 14. Darth Vader 18. A lot of the really solid reads going on right now are just about that 1.5 mark, or almost to that 1.5 mark, just over a year to a 1.5. So that's kind of interesting to see a lot of these great reads that we're still talking about. We're still talking about them a year to a 1.5 years later. Department of Truth, we've talked about this. It's a very layered read. Still picking it up. It reads better for me in trade paperback format. Not necessarily just the trade paperback format, but 6 issues at a time. Trying to read this issue to issue, month to month, it's really hard to remember everything. And then, like we said, we've got to kind of create an environment that's conducive to getting into the layers of this story and then not being pulled away or pulled out. Pulled out what? Huh? Hit the like button. Paul Don says, thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate it. The Me You Love in the Dark, the final issue for this series. This series ended up being better than I expected it to be, because at first I thought this was just going to be another Patrick Swayze and what's her face kind of ghost story, that love story with a ghost. And no, this gets dark. This gets weird. It gets gory. And I love the use of colors in this issue. Very good. Eventually going to probably move that into a Whatnot auction, or maybe do a giveaway. I'm sure somebody else in here hasn't read that'd be interested in reading it. So now we're moving on to Marvel, Star Wars Bounty Hunters, the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary variant. I am going to be emailing the LCS after this, putting together. I'm dropping all the Star Wars stuff down to cover A's. Down to just cover A's. I need to get away from buying Star Wars variants because the amount of room for storage that Star Wars stuff takes up every month is nuts. It is nuts. You get 4, I think I'm reading 4 or 5 titles from Star Wars, maybe 3 or 4. And it seems like every week or every other week, there's 4 plus. This is 3. There's 4 plus Star Wars books to pick up just from Marvel. And then you get the IDW that there's 2 copies right there. And it's getting to be a lot of comic books to try to store. It really is. So Bounty Hunters, this variant actually did look pretty good. I don't know if this cover B or if it's just a variant, but it's nice seeing Darth Vader on the cover of some of the other Star Wars titles. So that means cover A is here. And remember, we talked about this. This started hitting the pull list because the wife was reading Bounty Hunters. And then I kept it on the pull list because I wanted to read the War of the Bounty Hunters crossover. And everything fell apart from there. And I just started buying everything for like the last 6 months. Time to make a change. Time to make a healthy change, actually. Darth Vader 18, this pack run for Darth Vader has been fun. I can't wait to read this one. The issues have been really good. They have not been a chore to try to remember. It has not been a massive challenge. Pack's doing a really good job keeping readers engaged. And this is a very interesting the perspective that he puts you in as far as reading about Darth Vader is actually pretty refreshing. I like that. Good stuff. So then Venom number 2, we talked a little bit about Venom number 1 last month and about how difficult it was for me to get into the book. And I don't know what happened. I grabbed it digitally today just for convenience time, so I didn't have to find issue 1 to try to reread it and then read 2. And I actually got more into issue 1 and enjoyed it better than I thought I would. And then the only reason why I didn't finish reading issue 2 is it was time to go live, and I like to keep to that time slot, that time schedule. So issue 2 is something I'm going to be finishing here tonight as well. And I think I'm going to enjoy the way that Ram V and L. Ewing are doing this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking it's like Al Ewing was issue 1, Ram V's this issue, next issue should be Al Ewing, next issue should be Ram V. I think, am I understanding that correctly from my LCS? Is that what they're doing? Is they're flip-flopping the writing back and forth between Eddie Brock and Dylan? That would make it a little bit more interesting for me. It would make it more interesting for me to keep up with. So, issue 36, Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky. This is the last issue that Zdarsky's writing for Daredevil, and then he's going into that Devil's Reign mini run. That's going to be 6 issues, and it's Checchetto and Zdarsky again. So I thought I was going to be taking a break from Daredevil, but with that same creative team doing the miniseries, I'm going to be picking that up as well. And a couple of you guys have mentioned in the comments that seems like a very likely time for Marvel to reboot Daredevil for a new number 1. And maybe at that point, we'll see a different creative team come in, and that might just be a good opportunity for me to take a break from Daredevil after that miniseries. But how do I stop reading Checchetto and Zdarsky Daredevil stuff? How do I stop enjoying that? So the miniseries is only 6 issues, and I say this every time. Oh, it's only a miniseries? We're going to get those 6 issues. Well, then you add on variant covers, then it's the extra printings. It's okay. So we're going to keep that miniseries to just cover A's for sure. So that's the recap of the books. We've gone over the announcements. We've got just enough time to do the recap of the announcements. But before we do that, we're going to hit up this chat and scroll back here a little bit. Andy, only karaoke ZZ Top. I've got about 2 more feet of beard before I can even be allowed to karaoke ZZ Top. Giggity, yeah, she's been on Harley a couple. God, I didn't think about that. That's pretty good, man. Sorry, Paul Dunn says, I think it's been a long day. It has been a long day. It's been a really long day. I am definitely appreciating the energy that you guys bring to these live streams every week, because I don't know about the rest of you guys. My days begin about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then my days don't end until even further after these live streams. This live stream is going to end in about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to sit down. I've got some whatnot prep work I want to do. I want to definitely connect with people on social media. There's the last couple of Wednesdays I've been doing IG reels and TikTok reels, or whatever TikTok videos of the new comic book day hauls. Those have been kind of fun. I'm going to be taking a break from that tonight because there's some other things I want to focus on, and I need to go to bed as early as possible and get some extra rest. You guys can see my eyes are already drying out and I'm already tired. It's been a long day. Hopefully you guys don't have, 5 a.m. to midnight days, but that's kind of where I'm at right now, between content creation and between my career and what I enjoy to do. The days are long and I look forward to some breaks. So we're going to be factoring in some sort of a break schedule for 2022, whether that be taking one Wednesday off a month from content creation, something like that. I feel like that'll put me in a more healthy place as a person to force myself to create a schedule for some sort of breaks. Because you and I all know, as adults, the holiday season isn't necessarily a vacation or a break. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to spend time with family members and enjoy that and cook and clean and do that. We love it. We do it because we love them and we love that time. But the holiday break isn't really a break. And vacations for us tend to be conventions where I like to go out and spread my wings and try to record content and be a content creator. So vacations for us, I'm technically still working, if you will, for a job that I do for free because it's my hobby, right? So either way, I digress. The announcements that we went over was C2E2 is next week. We're going to be starting a group chat to find out who's all going and who's going to be able to meet up and who's going to be what and where and when days. And it's going to boil down to one of those things where we're going to kind of create some location points to hang out. And for people that don't make it, we're going to try to find people in passing to spend some time with them. Not everybody's going to be there every day, and not everybody's going to be able to make every dinner or every lunch hangout or anything like that. We're going to figure something out, though. This is like one of the conventions going on. I've never seen so many people in social media say that they're going to a convention before. I think DJ Lynx is even going to C2E2. There are a ton of people that I have not met yet before in person that are going to be at C2E2, and I cannot wait for this. So that's going to be a big thing. We're going to try to create a group chat. Maybe somebody else out there can create a group chat as well, so we can kind of cross-reference to see who's going. And then some people, you can only fit like 20 people in a group chat. Either way, it is next week already, and I can't believe how fast this is approaching. Holy moly. Second announcement is Whatnot auction this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we're going live on Whatnot. And everything, it's going to be a fire sale. If it's a 9.8 slab, it's starting for $1. If it's a 9.6 slab, it's starting for $1. If it's a group of raw books, it's starting for $1. Everything's going to start for $1. And I'm telling you that there's so many sellers and whatnot going on right now. And there's so much fun going on. There's so many people bouncing around. You're bound to catch a really good deal because not everybody's going to be at the same spot at the same time. So lightning's going to strike for some people, and there's going to be some great deals. That's what I'm after. That good energy where people score some really good stuff. We gave away a Thor 337 9.6 newsstand. And Paul Dunn won that live on there. On the wheel, won it. And the energy that was there when that happened was just electrifying through the roof. The house was shaking here, and it was absolutely epic. It was so amazing. I can't wait to hopefully recreate that again, that great energy. Michael, what is up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. You forgot about that variant, Paul Dunn. I did too. I don't remember which one it was. Might be a good time to sell some of those earlier Bounty Hunters issues, move them on spec value before. Maybe, I don't know. My wife and I are really good really good. We're Boba Fett fans. We've been collecting a lot of Boba Fett stuff. The Star Wars 42 issues we've been collecting. We are big, that's kind of where this started, getting back into Star Wars, as my wife was always tuned to the whole Boba Fett stuff going on. So she was picking that stuff up. So she got me back into that. But you're right. If we've got extras, we're definitely going to be looking at that as an opportunity to start those for $1 on Whatnot. Hello, Michael. Absolutely. If my day started that early, it would end when I say it does. Where I say it ends is never a pleasant experience for everybody else. Yeah, for me though, it's one of those things where I don't want to quit sometimes. And it's not about quitting. That's not what I mean to say. What I mean to say is when I complete my career job and I come home, there's many other things that I want to do, and finding a way to prioritize them and fit them all into one day has been really difficult. And you pass stuff on to the next day, you pass stuff on to the next day. And then I get to the point where I get to a Saturday where it's all of a sudden I'm shut off. That entire Saturday I'm shut off and I'm just cleaning the house, or I'm just pedaling around doing some stuff and just recharging. So I need to find a better balance so that I don't burn myself to that point where I'm recharging for an entire day, so to speak. But yeah, I agree with you. Your day should be over when you say it's over, and I need to be better about finding those boundaries, and I'm not. I know that they need to be there. I know that boundaries should exist to be healthy, but sometimes I just don't give up. I just don't like stop thinking. My mind is always constantly moving and thinking about thumbnails and other ideas, and then I have that really bad habit of laying down in bed, having an idea that sounds absolutely amazing, and then getting up to take notes or do the other thing, and then when you're thinking about that, and then I can't sleep. It's like I didn't really capture lightning in a bottle, so to speak, but I feel like I'm close. Now I can't sleep. That happens quite a bit. Hi, this is my first time on your live, but I've been subscribed for a while. Are you reading Donny Keats Hulkron? I'm not, and I've people are telling me that I should be. So that's probably going to be something that I'm going to pick up trade. Or we're only one issue in, right? Two should be coming up in a week or two. So I'm not too far behind to get into that. Ways, thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you being here and being a longtime subscriber. Thank you so much. We talked earlier when we are in announcements. One of the announcements we talked about way while you're here was that just this past Monday, we dropped the second episode in a new form of content on Monday called Modern Comic Mondays. That topic was how to start a comic book collecting, or how to start collecting comic books from a beginner's perspective. And there was 5 topics that we hit up and we talked about. I would implore you to check that out. The first 20 minutes of that video is the content I'm really looking for feedback on. The rest of that 40 minutes is basically a deep dive with people in the live chat. So I'm going to eventually be chopping that down and re-releasing that content for people to see just those tips and just the topics that we talked about. But if you could please check that out, leave a comment. I'm really looking forward to hearing real feedback. It's not a perfect video. It's not like 4K. It's not gonna, I'm no expert. I'm just kind of sharing an opinion. I really like to hear other people's responses with their opinions as well, because that's kind of what we're trying to do, is we're trying to talk or spark conversation. Sparking conversation sparks more ideas. The more conversations and the more ideas we have, the more we talk, the more we learn to grow and expand our own selves. We're educating each other, so to speak, right? I'm not out there just telling people what I think because I want them to do that. I'm not trying to influence people. I'm trying to spark ideas. I'm trying to spark positive vibes, good energy. That's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to spark people coming into the comic book collecting with good feelings, with, we don't want people to go into debt to create a comic book collection in the first year they're doing it. We don't want people to get burnt out. We don't want people to get sucked into FOMO. We want people to build a good, solid foundation to start off on that's healthy, where they enjoy it, because we're looking to continue growing the comic book community and continue perpetuating it, right? We want it to be self-perpetuating, and the way things become self-perpetuating is when we continue to help train and teach others, and then they continue to train and teach others. That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more people comment and feedback on that video. And hopefully we get to that point and we get honest feedback there and we learn and grow from that as well. So as far as hobbies go, I'm sure your wife isn't mad. I mean, your hobby could be, it could. That is, I don't, never been one to partake. I don't have experience in there. I've heard and listened to a lot of people and comedians and talk about it, and I can not sympathize, but I get it. Yes, I will take another one. What did I miss, man? You're gonna take another what? Take another nap? Oh no. I wish I had the opportunity to go. Way says, I think it's one of those things where a lot of people are making that stretch to create those opportunities now, because C2E2 is going to go back into its regular schedule next spring, but this one's been put off for so long this year that everybody's really pumped and really excited to be there for that one. Cocaine is a lifestyle, not a hobby. Oh God, dang. Dudes and dudettes, what is up, Burly Irishman? We're just closing out the show. We're going over the last couple of announcements before we call it a night. We've recapped the books twice already, and the last announcement we just talked about was getting feedback for that Modern Comic Mondays recently for creating or new comic book people or people coming into the collection community, new comic book community, and how do they start collecting comic books. So we'd love to see some positive, not positive, any feedback at all. It could be bad. Bad feedback's better than no feedback, to be honest. But if anybody's interested in checking that out, the first 20 minutes of that video are the 5 topics that we talked about. That's where we're looking for that feedback. The last 40 minutes, that is just deep diving and hanging out with the community like we're doing right now and going into some of those topics further. Like we went over an entire chunk of YouTube channels that are perfect for gaining knowledge, being exposed to it. Knowledge is key. That was one of the big things we talked about on the tail end. Knowledge is key. And there's so much knowledge out there that the only thing limiting ourselves from learning is us and being exposed to it. Now you just got to find what avenues and what areas you like as far as channels and content creation to be able to absorb and learn that stuff. Wayways, interesting start to Hulk. What did you think? I'm hearing that from a couple of people actually that it's making me really want to start reading that. In Mother Russia, hobbies snort you. This is correct. This is correct. Hey, Irishman. My issue ships this week because it's shipping with my Venom 2. Okay. That's right. There are a lot of people, we talked about that on the collecting comic books for beginners, that if you don't have an LCS near you, some people use that online route and then they bulk ship every other week or every month. That definitely is a thing. Paul Dunn, sir, how was your day? Good to see you again. It would be great. Ooh, got to pop that shoulder. It would take great restraint. I've met a couple. Oh no, but not a life. Mainly, they actually self-awareness. Yeah, I need. Ooh, good to know. Almost done. Pretty good overall, though. They'd go on 3-day runs. Pick up the next 2 issues. You talking about Donny Cates' Hulk. Pick up the next couple issues, then we can talk about it again when the next time it drops. Better now that we're all here stewing in the connective tissues. God, yeah, we're almost there. Definitely check it out. Thank you, Wayways. I greatly appreciate you taking that time, that 20 minutes out of your schedule to check that out, catching that on the replay. Click save it to your watch later stuff. That's what I've been doing. I wish I could create that for every channel and just automatically starts filling that as they release content. Yeah, around the right people, you don't have self-discipline. Self-discipline is a real big thing. Sure, it certainly is. Nothing but good vibes. Absolutely. Do have a comic book problem. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to be working on too. I've been buying way more books than I really need to be managing or reading. Reminds me of a Johnny Cash song I got for acquiring a .0. Yes. I think it just starts with a little curiosity, maybe a character that someone could relate to. That is one of the first things we talked about. We're both idiots with skin conditions, like me and Deadpool. Yeah. So that was one of the first things asked is, why do I want to collect comic books? Is somebody watching that video is, why do you want to collect comic books? Your answer is going to help guide you in the style of collecting that you want to do and know what you enjoy. Watch the content. You'll see where I'm kind of getting at, where my thought processes are at. But as all good things do, they come to an end. It has been a fantastic Wednesday with over 30 people at one point. What was there, like 38 people at one point here hanging out? I don't know. That's a ton of great energy coming into the chat. Rock City, we're hitting that. Yeah, I just forgot to hit that. Oh boy, particularly for that reason, matches, but uppers. Oh, there you go. There's a whole nother conversation within a conversation going on. But man, it has been fantastic Wednesday talking and hanging out with all you guys and going over New Comic Book Day. And it was just a comfortable Wednesday with some solid reads, some great announcements. Like we said, Whatnot auction this Friday, 9 p.m. Head on over to there right now. Search ComicManAndy, download the app, hit that like button, hit that bookmark button so you know that when we're going to go to live. And it's going to be pretty much right before 9 p.m. is what we're going to go live. And we're not going to wait. We're going to start throwing books up, starting things at $1. And it is going to be a fun time. And we're going to sling some tunes, right? We're not going to blow it up, but we're going to sling some tunes. And it's going to be a good time. Then that C2E2 is next week. And the Saturday, we're going to try to do a Whatnot auction live from C2E2. That's going to be a ton of fun. Can't wait to see everybody there and hang out. Looking forward to getting pictures with everybody. And hopefully they have the yard set up like they did last time where we can all collect and hang out and drink a couple of brewskis. Smasheth thine like button. Thank you, Harley. Good to see you, man. MVP was here earlier. Max, I saw his comment. Now that I'm thinking about Harley being here, I saw Max drop a content and haven't seen him talk again the entire time. Hopefully he was just stopped by to say hi, Sorry I missed him. If somebody can say hi to him, I'll look for him, see if he's going live here soon. Once again, this connective tissue that is comic books is fantastic, right? But even more fantastic than that are all of you every day, every week, coming together, hanging out to talk comic books, and we're growing and learning together and figuring things out as we go. You know what I mean? So y'all know how I'm going to do this, right? If you don't know, now you know. I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side for the next video. Can't wait to see it again. There it is. Max said hello, was ignored, left in shame. I am the one in shame for not catching that as fast as that chat was moving. Trap House talk? What's Trap House? I don't know, man. Sorry, Ways. Yes, comic shop talk. We're closing it out, though. You guys know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side for the next video. And remember, the most important part, all day, every day, every week. Stay original. Take care of each other. Have a good night, everybody.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change. The roller boogie has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty. I love gold. I love gold. I love gold. I love gold.